And we're going to finish the 11th chapter of The Mystery of the Cupboard, which is called Tom, and Tom is who Omri is talking to. He was one of the Thatchers of Jessica Charlotte's house. As she died, he was the one who hid the journal in the cash box and also mailed a large package, which Omri is hoping to hear about now. I wasn't to send it till after she'd gone. Wait, Tom, she'd whispered. Wait till I'm dead, safe and sound under the ground. She gave a little wheezy cough and tried to smile. Then she told me where the gentleman had put it away, hidden like. I was that afeard that he'd catch me taking it and think I was stealing. But I had to do it. Maybe it was the devil's errand, like the lad said, 'cause I couldn't resist her when she gave an order. Queer sort of thing to be posting, a little metal cupboard, and the key to it. He paused. And a letter. A letter? She told me what to put in it. I were never much on writing, but I done my best. Who is it to? Asked Omri, though he knew. A lady. My memory's going. Whole gap's just going. Maria. Was it Maria Darren? Tom's face cleared. Ah, that's it. What was in the letter? Do you remember? It was short enough. Let me see. Something about a mystery. Ah, that's it. The key to the mystery. I remember that because she took it off her neck when she said it, so I knew it were a real key she meant. She made me write something more about the key, about how it opened many locks, something like that. Then she told me to write 3 words. They're 3 hard words, Tom, she said, so get 'em right. I took them. I wrote that down. Then I couldn't help it. I asked her what she'd took, and she gave me a look that shut me up. Then she said she didn't ask forgiveness because she knew there couldn't be none, and at the end, that sad part, is it any comfort to you to know my life too was ruined? I remember that word for word. It gave me heartache the way she said that. So sorry-like, so bitter at the same time. Then she was quiet for a while, and I thought she'd dropped off, but she suddenly said, "Put love." Then what happened? Asked Omri, almost in a whisper. Then I held the pen in her hand, and she signed it with just her initials. She told me to put the key with a letter in the envelope, put that in the cupboard, pack it carefully, and after her funeral send it to the address she gave me. A lawyer, she'd said she'd know where to send it to. A lawyer, she said he'd know where to send it on like. And was that all? Omri asked after a moment. That's the whole story. The old man passed his hand over his bald head and looked down at the table. After a while he said, That's all I can tell you without you thinking what they think. What? That I'm queer in the head? I won't think that, said Omri. Well then, last time I ever saw Mrs. Driscoll, who wasn't a Mrs. but a Miss, so they said, but that's not to do with me, she give me a trifle for doing her errand, and she give me something else as well. She give me a present, as no man ever had a better, except I had to keep it secret all these years. But for sure, that's why I never, ever forgot that lady, and says a prayer over her of a Sunday to this day. Omri found his mouth had gone dry. What? What is it? What did she give you? The old man looked at him for a long time. His eyes had lost their piercing, steady look and become dreamy and unfocused. When he spoke again, it was in a sing-song voice, as if Omri wasn't there. She give me her confidence. She told me about them, and said they'd all gone safely back, he said. All but one. And she wouldn't go because she said her life wasn't worth living where she come from. She wanted to stop here, and Mrs. Driscoll. But she couldn't keep her like, being not long for this world, so she gave her to me. She give her into my hand, into my keeping, and I kept her safe. She was the best friend, the sweetest companion a man could have. Can I see her? Whispered Omri. Tom's eyes focused on him again. I don't know how or why, but you're the first, as I could have shown her to, he said, but I can't because, well, I ain't got her so more. She lived with me in secret for 30 year, and then one day, 2 months ago, she Omri stopped, or he stopped. Omri saw he had stopped because he was going to cry. He wanted to turn his eyes away, but he couldn't. She was a little person, wasn't she? He asked in a whisper. A tiny person? As big as your finger? Ah, said Tom Towser hoarsely, wiping his eyes. My Jenny! And that is the end of chapter 11.